Hi, everyone. I'm Bill, your personal librarian, and this is In the Library. Today's episode was inspired by one very short sentence towards the end of this book, When London Was Capital of America, which is a really interesting book. I may do a video review of the book as a whole, but today I'd like to share what I learned by that one little sentence in this book. And it's a little bit of a rabbit hole, but it's really interesting. So come on in, take a seat, and let's turn some pages. And just what is that rabbit hole? Benjamin Franklin's alphabet. Yes, that's right. Our founding father tried to reinvent the alphabet. Let's take a look. Why did he want to reinvent the alphabet? Well, two reasons, as it turns out. One, just in general, he and later Daniel Webster both believed that spelling and pronunciation was very difficult. Too many sounds, too many letters, unnecessary letters in words, in their opinion, etc. So this new alphabet that Franklin proposed was meant to make things easier on both spelling and pronunciation. The other big reason is America, by this time, was coming into its own. We had won the Revolutionary War, and we were in the business of starting a new country. So, new country should have its own way of doing things, says Franklin, and that includes its own language. Granted, it would be a language based in British English, but it would be American English. Its own spellings, its own alphabet, the whole deal. So, what did Franklin do to, again in his mind, improve the alphabet? He did this. It is most of the letters that we know and love, with 6 new letters that Franklin invented himself. The 6 new letters are in the blue at the end of the second line. I'm afraid that I don't know how to pronounce any of those letters, except to say that this one here, this one right here, is meant to replace the SH sound. This was one of his ideas, is that letters, each letter should have its own sound. You shouldn't need 2 letters to make one sound. So this letter right here is the replacement for SH. Similarly with some of the other, all actually, of the other letters. Now, if you take a look at this, do you notice any letters missing? I'll give you a minute. See any missing letters? If you say yes, you're right. There are letters missing from our alphabet because Franklin thought they were unnecessary. He eliminated C, J, Q, W, X, and Y. For instance, he eliminated C because both the hard and soft C could be replaced in turn by S and K. Hence, he kept S and K, but eliminated C. Similarly with some of the other letters. Q and X, well, they're just useless anyway, says Franklin, so might as well get rid of them. This is a pretty interesting idea. As I'm sure you know, it is an idea that did not catch on, but it's an interesting one to think about. So here is a piece of a letter that Benjamin Franklin wrote to a friend of his using his alphabet. I will give you the translation, but try to take a moment and see if you can do it yourself. You got it? You know what it says? All right, I'll tell you. It says, difficulty of learning and using it. And it would already have been such if we had continued the Saxon spelling and writing used by our forefathers. I am, my dear friend, yours affectionately, Ben Franklin. He, in another writing about his new alphabet, he basically blamed the idea that we can't spell and pronounce correctly because the alphabet was too difficult to use. So he says effectively, change the rules and the games will get better. So he tried to change the rules by making his own alphabet. Well, improving on our alphabet, more accurately put. Now, before we leave our rabbit hole, there's one last thing that I discovered in researching this. Back in the 80s, two authors, Beth Anderson and Elizabeth Bradley, actually wrote a book, a children's book, about this very subject. It's called An Inconvenient Alphabet. Ben Franklin and Noah Webster's, I think I said a different name before, but it's Noah Webster. Noah Webster's Spelling Revolution. And it talks all about Ben Franklin's alphabet, what he tried to do to get it into use, and then his partnership with Noah Webster. And once Franklin died, how Webster tried to pick up the cause. Webster was a little bit more successful in his cause in improving American pronunciation and spelling. In words like favor and honor, for example, we don't use the U like the British do. We've dropped that U. So he was a little more successful, but I will leave a link to all the resources that I used in this video, including information on the book, if you're curious about that. In the meantime, tune in again next time, where I will be doing another book review. I'm going to be reviewing a book by my favorite author, one of my favorite authors, Bill Bryson, and his 2019 book, At Home. It's really, really interesting, as all of Bryson's books are. And so that will be next time. In the meantime, please be sure to give us a like, thumbs up, thumbs down, share the video, be sure to subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And I thank you. To check out the websites in the description, and thank you for watching, and keep on reading.